Welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show with Chris, Joe, and Rob. The crew is taking your calls, so dial in at 1-800-808-5548.
And welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show. Man, the time is flying by. This is such an interesting subject, and at this time of year, hopefully it's a relevant subject for you guys out there listening. We're talking about personal safety, home security, that type of thing during the holidays. Unfortunately, crime goes up this time of year, and so we wanted to make sure we gave you guys some good information on being safe in the holidays. We have a caller on the line that has a question for us, and I didn't quite get the name. So, caller, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. What was your name?
It's Ashley Bowles.
Oh, Ashley! It is one of our sponsors, Ashley Bowles with Ashley Bowles AB Home Inspection, one of the best sponsors
out there
and home inspectors in the town. Ashley, what do you have for us?
Well, you guys are talking about safety, and I'm on an inspection right now, and I'm looking at the exterior doors to the house, and they have double key deadbolts.
Double key deadbolts.
Well, give us a comment on that.
They're keyed on both sides, and people think it's a safety thing for people to break in their house, that they need to have a key to get out. But the problem is if you ever have a fire in your house or need to get out of your house in a hurry, it's hard to find a key when you're in a panic.
And not only that, if you are renting your home out, it's required by law to have a keyless deadbolt.
Yeah, and it's in the code book. It's for egress reasons.
Exactly.
That way you can get out of the house. I just thought it might be something interesting for people to know, because thinking about safety, they don't want people to get in, but it's another issue if you can't get out.
Absolutely. And it also would deter you from using the deadbolt when you're at home. My wife is ridiculously meticulous about locking the deadbolt because I experience it all the time. I go outside to take the trash out or, whatever, and I try to come back in, and the door is locked. We have other males in the studio nodding their heads.
Well, she does that on purpose, Joe.
Yeah.
She does that on purpose.
When you buy that new house, make sure that they have a keyless, code entry so you can get back in
Yeah.
with the code.
Yeah, you know what? I do need to look in that. That would make a lot of sense.
Or, of course, you could just buy the lock.
I can't get mad at her because she's just being safe, and I like that, and it's keeping this kid safe, and she's just very hyper aware about that sort of thing. And but I have been on the receiving end of that locked door many, many, many times without a key, and I have to knock and beat on the door.
Kim might be trying to tell you something.
She very well might be.
Danny Frank just texted me to make sure that we still have that run as a Prudential ad. Of course, we know we are Berkshire Hathaway now. So there's another shameless plug that I managed to work in there.
Yeah, we've had to get you a new commercial. Well, you know what? Continuing the vein of personal safety, and Ashley, thanks for calling in, buddy. We appreciate the call. Good little point there about deadbolts. We have another very interesting guest and a break from the norm for the Real Estate Rat Pack, but a lot of fun. Our next guest is someone that's a close friend of mine now. He's a teacher and a mentor for me because he's my martial arts instructor, Mr. Andy Gonzalez. Andy, say hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Introduce yourself and let us know, who you are, what your background
give us a little history.
is, and what you do.
My name's Andy Gonzalez. I own GTSD Karate in Humble, Texas. Just a small little martial arts that started back in 2000, and we've been just growing ever since. Having a lot of fun with it.
Back in 2000, so 13 years now.
Yes, sir.
Wow. How did you? What got you? Because now something I know, and I want to make sure our listeners know, something that's really cool to me is that both you and your wife and all of your kids are martial artists, and they're involved in the school and instruct. And what inspired the two of you to get involved in doing that as a couple together?
Well, we mainly just started off to get an activity, some sort of exercising in, and we had a friend that used to do martial arts, and we were going to their studio, but luckily for me, a studio opened up right in front of my neighborhood, and we joined them, and I just enjoyed it so much, and he was a great mentor about teaching kids, and it just really fell into that. I love teaching the kids and having a great influence on trying to make the world better a little bit at a time.
I'm very curious as to how many people now come to you that they're concerned about their personal safety.
the majority of it are parents concerned about their kids' safety in school. Unfortunately, like you mentioned, the Colorado shooting that didn't really get a lot of press. That stuff happens all the time, unfortunately, more than you would like. Not the shooting part, but the bullying in school and the
physical violence.
And the physical violence.
Yeah, it's pretty systemic. Bullying is going to be such a big thing nowadays.
It is. It's unfortunate that it happens, and people are intolerant of letting other people just practice what they want to practice. But that's why a lot of kids come in there. Their parents want them to learn a little bit of discipline, along with a little bit of safety for themselves later on.
Do you find that the parents participate with their children?
Yes. The majority of my adult class started off with their kids. So they have a child in their program, and a lot of the adults are from that. So
now the impression is a lot of times that people are taking these martial arts as to, be able to go out and beat up people, but you don't approach it from that aspect. You approach it from the
that's why I got into it. Mainly because I wanted to do a lot of cage fighting.
Yes, you'll be on next week.
People are just shaking their heads in the studio.
I got nothing. Anyhow, but that's not really the purpose of it. It's really more about defense, is it not?
It is about defense, and just like our previous guest who teaches gun safety, he could probably tell you it takes about 2 or 3 seconds to draw a gun, even from a holster from here or there, especially the ladies who carry it in their purse. So there's always a good opportunity to have a little bit more safety right there to give you that little bit of edge to get you to that next point, depending on what you would like to do. I always view it as insurance. Everybody has to have insurance. Hopefully you never have to use whatever it is that you have to use to defend yourself. But if you do, isn't it good to have it there?
It might give you those extra seconds. It's fight or flee, and the best thing, of course, if you can flee safely and get away, that's the number one choice.
Yeah.
But sometimes you are confronted. You do have to do something, and possibly some of the moves and things like that might buy you enough time to be able to get out of the situation.
Any martial arts program should teach you the main thing of awareness. My wife teaches a course every Christmas for all the ladies. Invites anybody in, teaches her about the statistics about what happens during the holiday, like Joe said about earlier, how it increases this time of year. So the awareness of malls and stuff like that, don't be preoccupied by looking on your cell phone or trying to dig for your keys and all that other stuff. And if you're going to go outside, make sure you're not on your cell phone, or call people and say, hey, I'm going out to the car now. So at least people have a record of where you're at if something does happen. And that way you're not distracted. Always have your key ready to go. Get inside your car as quick as possible. Lock it up.
Yeah, the statistic I heard that women were 70% more likely to be victims of violent crime.
And unfortunately, that's by people they know. Yeah.
And so what I think a lot of people are the most vulnerable. Their hands are full of bags. They're pushing shopping carts. Or they're coming into their home. They're raising their garage door. And, sometimes people wait there. Garage door opens up. Perpetrator gets inside. Something that when you have an ability to defend yourself or at least get out of the situation, I think that would be a remarkably valuable thing to learn.
It is, to be able to give yourself enough time to either fight back or escape. That's the whole purpose behind a defensive art of any sort. Not too many people are going to use the Jet Li climb across trees.
Okay. You might want to make the disclaimer right now. This is not Jet Li.
No.
You don't fly in the air in slow
I don't fly
motion.
in the air. I don't do all that stuff. I can't bend around bullets. I'm very bro. And that's
that's
another
it.
thing.
I'm quitting the school. That's what I was there for, was learn how to dodge bullets. So.
That's another thing. She also preaches about safety. About don't keep anything on you that you're not willing to lose ever. Because if somebody comes up to me with a gun, I have 16 years of martial art training, I'm going to give them whatever they want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I am going to give them whatever they want. But if they want to take me away, which is not in any case good for anybody,
There's
you're
plenty
going
of
to want to
statistics on that
fight.
one. Yeah.
And they're going to find me either over somebody or right where I was supposed to die, right in my spot. I'm not going to let anybody take me.
I really wanted to bring out this because it's really important to me. I have 2 kids, beautiful kids, and an amazing wife, and
they got their beauty from their mom.
Yes, they did. I have no argument there. Something that is, kudos to my wife on. She does an amazing job of being aware of her surroundings. And I don't know, what brought that about in her or whatever else, but she's all of 5 foot tall, So unfortunately, criminals look for easy targets and easy opportunity. And one thing that, for all the listeners and all that sort of thing, that I wanted to bring out in the show was that martial arts is not for the big burly guy. It is not a sex-based sport where only guys can do it. At the school, at your school where we attend, it's predominantly female.
It is,
and it's predominantly children.
We start our kids 5 and up.
For the folks who didn't hear, since you didn't have a mic over there, what age is a good age to start children in martial arts or self-defense?
We start them 5 and up. We've had grandmas in our program. We've had grandpas in our program. So, I mean, it's not ever a age-based that way. We start them 5 and up just because they're usually in a school program and they're used to a certain sort of order already, so they learn a little bit more with our program.
And crime, just to, statistics are statistics, and depending on who you talk to, you're going to get a different statistic. It isn't a gender-based thing. It isn't an age-based thing. It's a situational awareness thing. And what happens is when people aren't aware and they get attacked or they get confronted, it's fear. Fear freezes you, and fear is what allows the individual to either be taken advantage of, be killed, be raped, whatever it is. The situational awareness is what will allow you to say, okay, I'm being put into a bad position. This is a gut feeling. I need to pull myself out of this. That's where you're able to control what's going on. Your ability to control your fear is also the next step, which will allow you to not be taken advantage of. It doesn't matter your size, like you're saying. It doesn't matter your skill in regards to, like you said, Jet Li. I mean, there's little things that you can do that will disable someone that you don't have to have any weight behind you at all. 5 pounds of pressure, you can drop somebody to their knees. It's the ability and the confidence that you have in yourself and walking through the streets. And like we said earlier, we don't live in the pink, fluffy arena that we used to live anymore, which is sad and pathetic, but keeping that situational awareness around you is what's the most important.
We're already coming up on a break, and so much more to talk about. I want to make sure folks know how to get a hold of you and get a hold of the school.
It's GTSC Karate. We're in Humble, Texas. It's 281-446-4484. But we also can be found on the web at gtsckarate.net. And we also are on Facebook, all the hip happening stuff out there.
And I want to know more, so we're going to come back and talk some more about this stuff.
Lots more to talk about. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Start to spring. Fancy gloves, though, where's old Mac?